Very good morning, everyone. In our previous lab, what we have done is about the input output of the file and all, right? Few of the commands will remain to see that what we have done. Okay. So now today what we are going to do is we are exploring our virtual lab. Okay. We will see few of the experiments of virtual lab. I'm sharing the link here. I need to wait to load this. Okay. Select this computer science and engineering and select the subject image processing lab. So please open it and just check the list of experiments. The very first one, distance and connectivity, maybe you have done it. Yes. Yes or no? Distance and connectivity. Here we have seen this theory and all, right? Introduction that what is the 4 neighbors and the 8 neighbors, what are the m neighbors, right? This is what we have seen. Then you can simply check the experiment. You have already done it. You need to find the distance, right? So you are selecting the points and you can check by the city block what the value is coming, that is 16. Because whenever you are going into the city, generally you can imagine there would be a 4 ways only, left, right, straight and back, right? So only 4 possibility, either horizontal or the vertical, right? So in that case, it will take 16 points, right, to reach from this pixel to this pixel. Another, that is the chessboard, it can even take diagonal way. So it will give you very less distance, that is only 8 units. And Euclidean, that is 11 point something. Fine. Then you can even check for the connectivity. You can select the image. Suppose you are selecting this part, right? So you have to select here the same color values, right? So suppose we are selecting here this black and this black, okay? And if we'll run this, we will get the way how we are actually reaching to that value. Same way for the 8 connectivity also you can check, right? This 8 connectivity can take diagonal path also wherever it is possible, right? But the 4 connectivity, it will always go for horizontal and vertical only. Fine? Okay. So please try this first experiment if you have not yet explored it. You can even go to this distance. You can convert from binary to grayscale image and you can run it. right? Binary to gray. So try this. So I hope you have finished this first one. Yes, everyone. Please at least write it down into the chat. Okay, fine. So now you can start with the second experiment. Second experiment is about image arithmetic. Image arithmetic means what we are doing here is we have learned about that matrix addition, matrix multiplication, division, and all, right? Matrix means some value, right? So same way here we are having a whole image, and in this image, that image is treated as the matrix, and we are taking one of the image, we are taking another image, and we are doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and all, right? So here you can see this in image arithmetic. We consider the operations like I of xy equals to a of xy dot b of xy, where this dot is indicating all arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, difference, all those things. So these A and B could be derived from different sources. Such operations are particularly used in modeling image acquisition as a result of perfect image corrupted data with additive or multiplicative noise. If your image is noisy, and if you are having your original image, you are doing image subtraction and you are trying to recover your original image. So such kind of application that we will see into our fifth unit, image restoration, right? But whatever we are doing the operation, that is just this plus minus multiplication division. So that we can see for a now. Because noise is often introduced either by the transmission media or by the camera. Just go to the theory and check this. This I of xy, that is your final image. This A of xy, that is one of your image. B of xy, another image. And you are adding intensity of those value, right? Those pixels, one by one. So same way subtraction, yes. Now what is the difference between subtraction and difference? Can you measure it? You can see it. It is in between that mode, no? So it would be always the positive value, right? So you can check for the range. Now here, what is the problem that I am saying? What is the problem, no, that we are discussing? See, this is your image, that is A. If one of the pixel intensity is 253 or something like this, and another image, their intensity is also around 254 or something like this. So what will happen, whatever would be the addition, no, that will be beyond your range, right? My range is what? For intensity values, that is between 0 to 255 only. Whatever you will do, addition, subtraction, multiplication, whatever you will do. But my range is between 0 to 255 for 8-bit. So how I will actually say that more than the 700 or the 600, what would be the intensity value? What would be that color? No, there is no such color. Now, either you need to, you have here two solutions. You have two options here. One you can do clipping and one you can do auto scaling. Fine. In this clipping, what you are doing is, whatever is your intensity value, so this is very important to understand, otherwise you won't get anything, how these results are coming. If your intensity value is less than 0, means minus 50 or whatever the minus value, then it will map it exactly with 0. And if your value is greater than 255, it will map it exactly as 255, means the white color. Fine. So here, into this addition, what could be the maximum value? That could be 510. Why? Because your one of the image is having the highest intensity value 255. Your another image is the value of 255. So the addition is 255 into 2. So that would be your highest value, that is 510. Fine. Are you getting what I'm saying is? Say yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then in subtraction, you can imagine if one of your value is 0 and another one is 255 and you are doing 0 minus 255, means you are having less value, that is minus 255, or the reverse is there. Or the reverse would be here, that 255 minus 0. So the max value you will have 255. So the range is minus 255 to plus 255 when you are doing subtraction. Then the third one, that is difference. Into the difference, I said no, negative values won't be there. So the range is 0 to 255 only. Then multiplication. Multiplication again, if both the values are max 255 and 255, so the multiplication is 255 into 255. So the highest value could be 65,000 something, right? And in division, if your another image value is the black intensity, or you can say zero intensity black color, right? So divide by zero means it would be the infinite, right? So either you can have minimum value 0 or you can have max here the infinite value, right? So to solve this, you have just two options, either clip it, that what I already explained. Into this clipping, what you are doing, negative pixel value where your r is less than 0, you are exactly mapping it with 0. And if above 255, you are mapping exactly with this 255, which is actually very bad idea. So with the clipping, you are not getting expected results actually. Then this is the auto scaling. This auto scaling means this operation remap the range of R to fit it into this 0 to 255. So you are narrowing this thing. You know, na log, if you are making a big building, you are making a small model, so you are mapping into it. So that range you are mapping in between 0 to 255, which will give you the perfect result. Via which they are doing? They are doing via this formula. Fine. Fine. Okay. Now we can directly move on to here. See, this I'm explaining you. Huh? This is what the procedure. You can directly check this observations that you can check. What you need to check specially. Do the subtraction and difference operation and you can compare the results. Do the multiplication first with clipping and second time do it with the auto scaling and you can compare the results, right? So directly moving on to the experiment. In experiment, you need to select one image. We are selecting one of the image, this one. Then we are doing addition. Addition with another image. Another image is, here they have given three images. One is dull, one is bright, and one is gradient. Dull you can check it's with the dark gray color. Bright you can check with the very light gray color. It is not exactly black, it is not exactly white, right? Dark gray and very bright gray color. And gradient means it will start with 0 and with the different smoothing they are reaching to the white color. We cannot exactly identify a sharp exact cutoff of one color to another color. It's a blending, smooth blending of the colors, right? So first I am doing all the activities with dull color. So when you will run this, you can check this. Because of one of the image who's having some of the intensity, it's been added another intensity into it. Though maybe it is a dark gray color, so intensity would be around less than 50, suppose, right? Or near about 50, but 50 has been added. Added means it is going towards the bright colors, right? Same way you can check for subtraction, right? Same way you can check for the difference, right? You can check the difference here. Check this, right? Then this multiplication, that is the most important. See what you are getting. Into this multiplication, what you are getting? Only white color image. Why white color? Because I said, no, whatever is greater than 255, it is mapped exactly 255. And the 255 is your white color. So all the pixels with the white color. But same you can check with the auto scaling. That will give you the good results. See, right? The same multiplication, because it will be mapped in the range of 0 to 255. That is it. So here in this clipping, you are getting only white pixels because all the range is going beyond your 255. So it is mapped exactly as 255. That is it. And division, you can check with clipping all the black color pixels. Why? All the black color pixels with the clipping. Why? Whenever you are dividing with this gray colors, right, at that time you will have some values less than 0, or it's 0.00 something, so it is exactly near to 0. If it is 0, it will map exactly with 0, right? So it is all the black color pixels. But you can check with the auto scaling, you will get the better results, right? So auto scaling is always the one. What is the solution? Clipping is not the solution. So same thing, you can check with the bright colors also, do the addition with the clipping, then the auto scaling and check the results. See, very bright color. Why? Because almost your second image intensity values are around 175 to 255 because it's very bright color. Bright means it is moving towards, I mean, more than 215, you can say. It's near to white color. So that 200 you are adding with another color. So it is very near to your 255, right? So we are getting very bright image. Same way you can check with all. Please do it. Not getting output image, maybe that is due to your Adobe Flash. You can check for that. That is only the reason. Fine, Ritesh? Yeah. Is it done? Everyone? Okay. We can move on to the third experiment if you've done with this. That is the fine transformation. In that you can check, you are having those basic image transformations like the translation, rotating, scaling and all, right? And we will use some interpolation operations, interpolation techniques. This is what we have learned, no? Zoom in, zoom out. Do you remember that? Because we are having suppose 500 cross 500 image only, and we are zooming it, suppose with the 0.5x. So the new pixels would be 750 cross 750, right? No, if it is 500 cross 500, then, and if it is exactly with 1x, then you can say it is 1000 cross 1000, exactly double than the previous. So, but we only know the values for 500 cross 500, intensity values for them. So now how I can fill another 500 cross 500, which are totally the unknown values, blank values for a now, and you need to fill it. So how you are filling it, that is known as interpolation technique, right? Either you can choose this bilinear, either you can choose this bicubic, either you can choose nearest neighbor technique, right? Based on that, it will give you the results. Which one is the better one? Search for this bilinear and let me know how many pixels we are considering. Nearest neighbor, that name itself says how many pixels it will. Bicubic, that I said, no, 16 pixels it will consider. So check for this bilinear, how many number of pixels it will consider for interpolation. Check and let me know. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So where we were, just wait for a minute. Now my screen is visible. So directly go to this theory. Right here you can see the different formulas for the translation, rotation and scaling, right? You can understand this formula. And here in rotation, you can understand it will, whatever the degree you will give, no, it will simply rotate your image onto that degree. Fine. Here it is specified like the 30, suppose. So it will put this 30 into this formula and you will get the new values, right? Then here in this procedure, nothing to discuss. Directly go to experiment. Again, you need to select the image. So you can select this. And here you are doing first of all the upscale, that is zoom in, right? And that you are doing with this interpolation techniques, whether it is nearest neighbor, whether it is bilinear or it is with the bicubic. You will select here how much you want to zoom in. So first of all, I'm selecting here 1x and I'll run this. So you can see here approximately we will have 600 cross 600 pixels. Okay. And you can check this. Fine. This is what your zoom in. But if you want to see the exact result or you want to exactly compare this nearest bilinear and this, no, then you have to choose minimum 2x. And you can check, then the difference is clearly visible. This would be around your 1200 cross 1200, right? When you will check with this, no, full image, view full image, you can check this thing. See this fine line, this edges you can check. First with the nearest neighbor. So have you observed this? Now you do this with the bilinear. It would be somehow clear than the previous one. Have you seen this now? Okay. So check this. Better than the previous one. In the bicubic, that is good to choose, right? Fine. So you can check the results accordingly with the different images, right? You can choose the different image and you can try it. Run it first with the nearest neighbor and check this boundaries and borders and see this, all the things. Here all the pixels are very, fuzzy kind of or blurred kind of. You can check these lines, right? And do it with bilinear. You will get the better results. See now, right? See here also it is very clear now. Okay. So and downscale, that is zoom out, right? Fine. Then you can check for the rotation. You can have here this many degrees, right? And you can run it. So with that degree, it will rotate your image. Right? Then you can check the translation. First, you can check with the rotation again, right? Then this translation you can select. So how many number of pixels you want away your image for that X and Y? That is what your translation. I'm directly showing you. Suppose I have chosen here around this 80 pixels and Y is around, suppose I'm choosing here the 30 pixels. You can see this many X pixels it will leave and then your image will be there, right? And Y means this vertical values, vertical 30 pixels it will leave. That is your translation. Fine. So try with the different values, try with the different image. Fine. So if you have done with this, you can check with another experiment. If this point operation that you can skip for now, you can directly go to neighborhood operation. Neighborhood operation is all about your filtering techniques and filters and all that what we are going to learn into our theory sessions. So once you will see this, no, you will get some of the idea about it. So generally filters are linear filter and non-linear filters. What are the difference and all that we will see into our theory session. But you can check for this, right? Directly go to this procedure. No, go to theory. Yes, here it is. So here you are actually we have discussed this, no, that you can take the filters either in the terms of 3 cross 3, 5 cross 5, 7 cross 7 and something like that, right? So here we have taken the example of 3 cross 3, right? And this is what the piece of your input image. It is not your actual image because actual image would be around minimum at least 250 cross 250, right? But this is what we have just taken one piece of it, okay? And we are taking here filter that is 3 cross 3, that is average filter first. I said that filter means predefined task. So here the name itself says average filter means what? It needs to do the averaging of all the intensity values, right? So it will do here this averaging of this means first it will do the summation 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 and it will divide with 9. So it will get the average. Here you can check. The previously it was 3 here, right? Now this averaging of these 9 values that will always affect your middle pixel. Whether it is 5 cross 5, whether it is 7 cross 7, whatever it will always change the value of your middle pixel. So here your middle pixel new average is now 4. So this 3 intensity is removed and now it will simply make it as 4. So this is how you are holding this mask all over to your image for each and every pixel. So you can simply check here many of the values have been changed. Have you seen this? Many values have been changed. So this is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
new output image. Another example they are showing you this 872, 781, 921. They are doing the averaging of it, and previously it was 8 here. Here it was 8, but now the new averaging value is 5. So it will simply replace 5 over there. So this is how you are not applying just on this or just on this. You are applying on your each and every pixel this filter, right? So this is what your straight here they have given you 3 different filters, 3 linear filters. One is straight averaging filter, another one is triangular filter, that is again the averaging filter, and Gaussian filter. One you can see this is straightly you have given, right? This average. Here you can see the sharp cutoff kind of thing is there, sharp, and Gaussian is very smooth. Sorry, I'm facing some poor network issue today. So you have seen that, no, filters, right? Gaussian filter also. See, filtering, averaging, this is what we are used for noise reduction. Some random noise is there and we want to remove it. So that is where why we are applying the filters. But side effect would be what? If I am blurring everything, I'll blur my edges again, right? If I want to reduce intensity of something, then as a side effect, I am actually blurring my image. That is known as smoothing, right? That what I said, no, you will learn about this too, smoothing and sharpening. This is what you are doing is smoothing. Smoothing means it will blur the image. Okay. So these three filters they have given, right? And they have also given the frequency domain filters also. They are like the median, sorry, spatial domain filter, one of it, that is median filtering, and frequency domain filter, that is the unsharp filter. That too they have given. So you can select here the image, choose this flower image. It would be clearly visible that whenever it is blurring. So here this is my straight average filter and I'm choosing here 3x3 filter, right? Here I'm choosing this 3x3. Once I'll run this, no, you can check the results. Somehow it is blurred, but it is fine. But when you will increase the filter size, no, it is getting blur, 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 and so blur. So check with all this filter with different size neighbors. Then I'm explaining the next thing.
Hello. Hello.
So have you observed that thing? Right? Whenever you are increasing your size of neighborhood, no, means like 7 cross 7, 9 cross 9, 15 cross 15, it will get more blur. So you have to choose the size of neighborhood very wisely. Generally, we are taking 3 cross 3 only, right? But if you will check with the straight average 3 cross 3 and Gaussian filter with this 3 cross 3, you will get the exact difference. It is very good. You can check. It's not much blurred. And again, you can check the straight average and you can run. See, somehow it is blurred. Same way you can check with 7 cross 7. It will give you more idea. See, this is how much blur it is. You can choose here Gaussian and you can run it. It is somehow better than that. Right? So here you can say the Gaussian filter is very good to choose. Right? Then you can try with median filter. See here, median filter is about what? Median filter is used to remove the salt and pepper noise. Salt and pepper noise means I have shown you one of the image where there was white and black color dot was there, right? So I'm not having exactly that image here in this virtual lab, but somehow you can check with this and this one. You can check with this too. Wherever you are having those white and black dots, no, it will be removed. So I am applying here median filter, and when we are running, no, you just check this portion specially, right? It is removed. So that is what about the median filter. And the same filter I'll apply and I'll use this unsharp. No, you will say that you know the meaning of it. Now say what it is doing. What it is doing, this unsharp, I have applied it and you can check the results. Very good results. So what it
Image
is
is more sharp.
Yes, somebody was saying. Contrast, not more sharpened features, you can say. Yes, Ritesh. What does the Gaussian filters do exactly? Okay, see that all the things, theory related things, we will see into our theory sessions only, right? Because I'm not able to explain you for now that what it will do exactly, right? But that thing is on the part of your theory only, right? Here, what you are just observing the result, that is what your task. Which result is giving you the good thing, right? Which of the technique, which of the filter is giving you the good results, that what you are just observing for a now. Okay, Mahek. Fine, same way you can check for this image. First we'll apply median filter and you can check the result, right? See this, sharpen the features, right? So one is the example of smoothing and one is example of sharpening. Fine. But every filter has its own thing, so how to conclude which is the best? Okay, fine, Mahek. Then you need to wait till your theory sessions. That filtering, we haven't seen that. So how I'll make you understand what this filter will do, because that is only the 2 or 3 theory sessions it will take. Very obvious, dear. So after finishing this, you can try with the image negative. That's what you need to do. Huh? I'll check the output. Image negative and contrast stretching. This two you need to do. Right? Image negative and contrast stretching. This two thing you need to implement. Please do it. With the built-in functions, it will hardly take 2 to 3 lines to code, right? And that what we have already seen into our theory sessions. Stretch limit, one of the image you are reading first, then you are checking for the stretch limit of that image, and please try to download any grayscale image. Don't download any color image for a now. If it is so, then you need to convert it first into grayscale image, and then you can apply this. So better download grayscale image first, right? Or I'll share one drive, that what I said. No, I'll upload all the images once I'll be free on Saturday. I'll do it. So you will have that database at least of the image. Right? Fine. Do it and then only we will end this session. This contrast stretching and image negative. Image negative you are doing with IM complement, right? So try it hands on. Fine. So if you have done, you can write down your enrollment numbers here and you may leave the session. If you have done it, you can write down your enrollment numbers here and you may leave. And I hope you all have written your numbers and no one is remained to write the numbers.
Ma'am,
Yes, Drashti.
40.
But you have already written, so it's fine.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.